Hello everyone! Alright, today we're going to be working on creating emoji pillows. To get our emoji pillows started off, I'm going to have you guys practice drawing 3 different emojis and labeling the emotion for each one. So as we know, emojis are short for emoticons, and they are just a small icon that's used to express an idea or an emotion or a thought using electronic communication. Because this is something that's become a really popular culture item, we are creating emoji pillows. So here's my example. I've drawn 3 different emojis and I've labeled the emotion for each. So I have a love, sad, and confused. You're gonna circle your favorite and finish the sentence. I chose this emoji because, and show it to me for approval. After I approve it, your next step is going to be to make your pattern pieces. So I'm going to trace this circle to represent the face. And inside the face, I need to draw the eyes, nose, mouth, and whatever details you have in real size. So if I wanted to do my love emoji, because I'm maybe feeling the love or it's close to February, I would draw out my pieces, and once you're done with that, you are going to cut out those details. There are my details. I'm going to set those aside. You notice that I don't have my face anymore because you don't need your face. We're going to use a different tracer to cut out our face. Now that's a fairly simple emoji, okay, with the 2 heart eyes and the mouth. Let's take a look at some of the more complicated ones because some of these are going to take a little bit more thinking about to cut out. Anything that's normally a line, like when we are representing the emojis, you want to make sure that you are thickening it up and you want it to be a good size because we are tracing and we're cutting it out of fabric and then we're sewing it on, and you want it to have some weight to it. Now, if I was to cut this out, it gets a little tricky because I have shapes inside other shapes. So what that means is I'm actually going to have to draw this circle in another spot, and the same with the tongue. I'm going to have to draw this tongue in another spot so that I can cut the mouth out and I can cut the inside of the eye out without wrecking my pattern pieces. All right, now I know that's confusing, but I'll show you what I mean in a moment. I've cut out the pieces, and just to show you what the paper looks like, I don't need this piece of paper, so I was able to cut in from the side. And now I have my face, and if you remember, we had to make some extra pieces, and the reason why is because these are going to be made out of different colored pieces of felt. So for the example of the eye, we know the big circle is going to be made out of white. The little pupil is going to be made out of black. And if I wanted to get those pieces ready to cut, I'm going to pick out my felt. I have my black first, and I will be cutting that piece, and this piece out of felt. And so I'm going to try to fit them on the best I can. And there's 2 different ways to go about this. I could hold them in place and trace them. A white crayon would work fine on the felt. Or I have these T-pins. I'm going to use this. I poke through, poke back up until the pin lays nice and flat. And this is going to hold the pieces down in place so I can cut them out. So once you have your paper pattern pieces cut out, then you're pinning or tracing them onto the felt colors that you need, and you're going to cut those guys out. This little pupil might be a little tricky. I'll probably end up having to trace that one. Okay, so I could cut those out. Now I actually have my love emoji already cut. So I have my mouth and I have my 2 eyes, and I'm going to now need to get the face cut out. So I have 2 pieces of yellow. We need 2 because we're making a pillow, so you need a top layer and a bottom layer that are going to be sewn together and stuffed, so it will make that squishy pillow. You can use that tracer again, and this is something, because it's thick, you're not going to want to pin it. I'm just going to grab a crayon really quick And a crayon or a marker works just fine. I'm just lightly tracing it around the circle. Now, our classroom scissors are not the best scissors. If you are having trouble cutting the felt because, you know, let's face it, they're just not very sharp, you may have to just cut one layer at a time. And if that doesn't work, then you may have to come and borrow my big scissors from me. So when you are finished, at the end of day 1, our goal is to have both yellow circles cut out and all of our face pieces. If you get that far, you're going to stop for today and you can recycle your pattern pieces.